A man is aiming at a maze with a MAMP M4, but in the next second, a female lion suddenly appears. The man raises his gun and aims at the female lion, ready to shoot her. But suddenly, a male lion and a cub appear. Jack is soft-hearted and slowly puts down the MAMP M4 and leaves the maze to the three of them. At this time, the old lawyer's alarm suddenly rings. Jack turns around and finds that the sun is about to set, so he turns back quickly, because the night here is nightmare. Robert is a survivor who has immunity to the virus in New York. There is also a dog that fights alongside him. He can drive a sports car on the street, play golf on the fighter jet, and even the busiest shopping street in the city center has now become his backyard. In addition to repeating the same thing every day, Robert also insists on studying the virus vaccine. He changed the basement into a laboratory and used his own blood to do experiments on those infected mice. Until this day, he found that a little white mouse became gentle after injecting blood and had this success. Next, he can carry out human experiments. He used ropes and black cloth to set traps at the gate of the factory, and then used his own blood as bait. After a while, with the roar of the lion, a nightmare flew out along the corridor. Looking at the nightmare chased out by the sun, Robert didn't think much. Unexpectedly, he caught the wife of the nightmare boss. When he injected his own blood, he realized that this method was not feasible. Robert immediately injected him with the virus and made him return to the nightmare state. The next morning, Robert went out with the dog as usual and stepped into the trap set by the nightmare. When he woke up again, the sun was already setting. He quickly pulled out the rope on the tip of the knife and was stabbed in the leg by the force when he was about to land. The intense pain instantly washed all over his body. As the sun set, Robert dragged his injured body and quickly moved to the back of the car. But the nightmare didn't give him a chance to escape. He directly released a few nightmare dogs. Fortunately, he was stopped by the tight sunlight on the ground. Robert accelerated his pace, but as the sun set, the safety belts on the ground were narrowing. As soon as the sun disappeared, the bad dogs rushed towards Robert. At that time, the dog was determined to intercept one. Robert took the gun and immediately counterattacked. Although Robert fired his gun at the fastest speed, the dog was still badly injured. Robert immediately took the dog home and injected him with blood. However, it was still too late. The dog began to shed a lot of hair. Teeth also showed signs of mutating. He had no choice but to cry and kill the dog. The dog grew up with him since he was a child. It was his most precious friend in his life. After the dog left, Robert fell into unprecedented loneliness. After the nightmare fell, he drove into the nightmare group. Under the siege of a large number of nightmares, the car quickly fell over the bridge. Just when he was about to be devoured by the nightmare, a strong purple light suddenly came. All the nightmares fled in panic. He didn't wait until he saw the other party and passed out. When he woke up again, he found that the wound on his body had been treated. The person who saved him was a woman with a child. The woman said she was going to the survivor base on the mountain and invited Robert to go with her. But the stubborn Robert insisted on staying to develop the vaccine. Just when they were arguing, there was a sudden sound outside. Robert opened the window to check. He found a large group of nightmares coming to the house. It turned out that when the woman saved him, she didn't use alcohol to get rid of the smell. This is why the location was exposed. Robert quickly opened the purple light around the house. Unexpectedly, the nightmare used his body to knock down the light pole. At this time, the nightmares outside were approaching the house quickly. They climbed up the roof along the wall. The house may collapse at any time. He had no choice but to turn on the last defense system. The nightmare begins. Robert quickly took the two of them to the basement and locked the glass door. However, what surprised him was that the previous serum had worked. The heart rate of the female nightmare had returned to normal. But he was not happy. The nightmare broke the door. Robert shouted at them desperately. "Look, I can save you. I can help you. You are sick. I can fix this. I can save everybody." Although he struggled to death, the Nightmare King did not stop at all. He hit the glass door with his body again and again. The crack on the glass door was getting bigger and bigger. It was urgent. Robert was a little desperate. He took a look at the mother and son next to him and made an important decision. He took the injector and pumped a tube of blood from the female nightmare's body and sent the woman and the child into the tunnel. He told the woman to take the vaccine out and send 2 people away. Robert took out a grenade from the drawer and rushed towards the nightmare without hesitation. Finally, The woman and the child successfully arrived at the base of survivors.